got to give the people what they want. Listen, we are live and in living color on this beautiful Friday in Buffalo. It is sunny. It is almost 60 something degrees. There is not a cloud in the sky. And for that, we are grateful. I don't have the weather report from Atlanta, but I'm sure it's warmer than it is here, but hopefully it is a nice day down there. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, May the 29th, and there is a lot going on. We will be joined at some point by our host who is out of town spending time with his family, and he deserves that. So I'm going to hold it down until we get him on. But listen, let's just jump right in. We know that here in Buffalo and in New York State, we now have approved budgets. New York State passed their budget yesterday. The Buffalo Common Council approved the mayor's amended budget on Tuesday. So that's good. It's good news that we actually have budgets. I'm sure for most people that there's a lot to be desired in each. Everyone can have an opinion and a thought about what can be done or what could be done or what should have been taken out. But we work in a representative government, so you have to work and negotiate to get the votes to get things accomplished, and that's the way we've set up this country and our constitution in New York State and our Buffalo city charter. That you got to have the majority votes to get things done within the legislative branch from the executive. So it's a tough decision, financially. I think not only the city, not only the state, but even our country is facing dire financial straits. So every decision that we make is a difficult one, and not everyone's going to agree. Not everyone's going to agree with the way to get out of financial straits, but working together does work. And even if you're not happy with any of your legislatures or any of your executives, that's what the power of your vote does, right? So if you're not happy this year, then you remember and you change your vote, you change your voting patterns on all levels of government. I think Erie County also passed their budget recently too. So everyone is in budget season, and New York State was in a 15-time extender, so there was a lot of budget initiatives in there, and we had the governor on the show where she spoke about a lot of her initiatives, and a lot of those got done. But again, it takes negotiation, it takes time, it takes ironing out the details, and so here we are. So kudos to everyone who worked through getting the budget through on all levels in state and city government, to give us the resources and the tools that are needed, and we'll go from there, and we will leave it there. I think we got him. Sir, can you hear me? I'm bringing you on right now. 2 seconds. And you are live on air.
Well, got to give the people what they want. I am traveling today on my way back home to hopefully sunshiny Buffalo.
Yeah, it's still shining.
Okay, good. So I'm in Houston, Texas, where the temperature right now is a chilly 91 degrees.
Oh.
And so I want to wear sunglasses, but my sunglasses don't have the prescription. I'm getting ready to drive. So I think I cannot be cool right now. I think I have to go. Yeah. I got to switch to what I can. There you go. I can see the signs.
I can see clearly now.
I can see. So welcome everybody, Buffalo, Atlanta, and everybody in between. I am going to be safely driving, so we don't need your comments about you need to. I'm 61. I'm fine. As long as I'm not holding the phone, I'm fine.
Absolutely.
And I will put it in the cup holder I'm not in my car, so I'm looking for an optimal space to put it. I've got about a half hour before I meet my daughter. So I'm here. So I went from Bermuda. No, not Bermuda.
I was going to say
Uh,
what?
uh, no, I wish I had gone to Bermuda too. Where did I go?
Barbados.
Barbados. Why do I keep saying Bermuda? That must be on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I went. Oh, let me open this phone a little bit. Let's see if this camera is a little better. So I went from Barbados and did a beautiful ceremony. It is take. Can you see me, Mark? It's
Yes, I
taking
still got
time.
you.
There we go. So I went to Barbados, did a beautiful ceremony, wedding ceremony for a member and her husband, and now then came for my grandson's graduation here in Houston, Texas. I kind of want to talk a little bit about because last night at one of my daughter's house, they're friends from, and I think I'm cut off a little bit, right? Like halfway. I don't know why my
Yeah.
camera is so small, so
Yeah, I
tiny.
don't know.
Oh no, you got me
Yeah, I got you. I still got you.
fully? Okay.
Yep.
So some of my daughter's friends came over who have also relocated
Mm-hmm.
to Houston. And just seeing the difference, and I know we've kind of had this discussion, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's Houston, but definitely a lot of young African Americans are moving to Atlanta. A lot of them are moving here to Houston. And in some ways, I can see it. So I want to talk about that. But when I came into the show, you were talking about, I think, the state budget or the switch budget, because
I was
two of them got
talking.
settled.
I was talking about both, because New York passed theirs yesterday, the city passed theirs on Tuesday. So I was just talking in general about, we passed the budgets and, the legislative process, and everyone might not be happy, but, this is representative government. So I just kind of left it there, didn't go into any details. But, like I said, some people are happy, some people are not, but, this is how government works.
Well, as being a retired and former elected official, let me start because I do want to chime in. I did see a lot of comments on the city budget. Obviously, the state budget just finished,
Right.
and so we'll see how that plays out. So I do want to talk about two things. I'll start with the city budget and then a portion of the state budget that some people were disappointed in, and why I think that it was necessary, but to slow down certain parts of the state budget, but not abandon it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me start first with city budget. And to all of my former colleagues and every person who serves on city government,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say thank you because at the end of the day, I know they're elected. I read the comments. I know they get paid to do whatever, but I was there for 12 years. I know you're damn gone if you do, and you're dang gone if you don't.
Right.
Now, when I was elected, and Mark, you were there for
Yep.
a lot of that time. The people. So you say we voted for you.
I lost your audio, sir. Still don't have it. That's
When
oh, there you go.
you do that, and the people at that time. Pause. Am I okay,
You're good now.
Mark?
Yep, you're good.
Did I leave? Okay. Um, People then did not want a tax increase. Let's be honest. And we can blame everybody else. We can blame who were the council people at that time, who was the mayor at that time. But let's be honest, you did not want a tax increase.
Right.
That's what we heard from community meeting to community meeting.
Right.
Do not increase our taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the paradigm, and I wish people would really come on, be honest. I never, and Mark, you could say if I'm right or wrong, did we ever have a community meeting where people said increase our taxes?
No one was ever in favor of it. I think we all knew that it had to happen because it hadn't moved in a decade, but nobody wanted it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you now.
All right, go ahead.
I
And I'm going
said
to put my phone.
I said, everyone knew it was eventually going to happen because it was over a decade and we had moved it. But we had to go incremental. I think the largest one that Mayor Brown proposed was 10%, and we negotiated down to like 4.5, 3.5, because I think, like I said, everyone knew it had to happen, but nobody wanted a large one at any point when we were there.
Right. And so you vote according. Sometimes, I mean, you got to realize when you have a few tens of thousands of people who you represent, you're never going to please everybody.
No.
You just aren't. There's going to be somebody who says, "Oh, you all should have did this," and that's okay, and that's
Mm-hmm.
democracy. And one of the reasons now, if it was something catastrophic, I probably would have been much more vocal. But at the end of the day, I know you now have people who are saying, oh, it's because taxes were not raised, but we want better services. Better services come with more of an increase.
Right.
And at the end of the day, prices are going up nationally,
Yes, they are.
not just in Buffalo. They're going up nationally. Come on, where you used to be able to buy a car at a certain price, you can't buy that car any longer
Sure can't.
at that price. And so the real deal is prices are going up. And we know that Buffalo is a cash strapped community.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have a paradigm of people who are saying, um, well, we want better, we want better. Okay, so that's what's being produced. There is no golden ticket. And so at the end of the day, I commend all of those who had to make some rough decisions. Now, in Buffalo, the mayor proposed almost 25%.
Mm-hmm.
In the negotiation, it came down, what was it, like
To
19 or
19.
something?
Yep.
To 19. So it wasn't 25%. If they had voted against the budget, or if it had been the mayor's budget, people don't understand how complicated this is.
Yep.
He could have walked with a 25%
Mm-hmm.
increase,
Yep.
period. Mark, I'm going to reach, I'm staying on. You explain that portion of while I
Yep.
return this text so that
I got
I
you.
meet them at the right restaurant.
I got you. So basically, so what he's referring to, so if in our charter, the council has a responsibility to, after they receive the proposed budget, they have to make their own amendments, submit them, so that the administration can work on it. If all council members vote no on the budget, the proposed budget originally goes into effect. So that's why it's so important to work on amendments and go line by line and figure out what you can negotiate. Because if not, all 9 no vote is a yes to the mayor's proposed budget.
And that is and thank you so much for I'm trying to do it all at the same time. I'm trying to meet the needs of everybody at the same time. And that's the part that I think is missing in this discussion
Yeah.
of what could have happened
Mm-hmm.
depending on the vote. So, like I said, it's a tough job. It really,
Yes.
really is. And no matter what you do, and again, that's democracy. But I just am not going to participate in the armchair quarterbacking after it's over, and that some people voted yes, some people voted no, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like nobody has to be a rubber stamp. I was fortunate enough when I was council president. Yes, there were times we voted as a block, but other times we didn't. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this about Rashid Wyatt, Councilmember Wyatt. Rashid did consistently vote no on the budget.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was surprised when he voted yes, but when he voted yes, I knew in my heart that he had done then probably the work to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
because he would normally vote like no, like he didn't care what none of us voted.
Right.
Rashid was going to vote what he felt, and I respect that. But when I heard he did vote, I had to respect that because I
Absolutely.
knew he didn't just out of nowhere decide, okay, all of a sudden after all these years, I'm going to change my mind in order to appease somebody else. And so it was a process. The process played out. I commend every council member who worked because they were working like
Yeah.
hard on this thing.
Through the
And
holiday and
so
everything.
yeah, through I saw them at funerals and then returning to City Hall, and that's commitment to their work. And so I'm grateful for.
And I was just going to close that thought.
And so now,
I was just going
uh,
to close that thought. As you said, it's always tough. It's always tough when you're broke. It's tough in your house when you broke, and it's going to be tough as a
right,
elected official over 34,000 people to be broke. So,
absolutely. I mean, you said it correctly. You know, I'm like I said, I'm here in Houston. I'm coming home tonight, and you know, I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know the financial situation in Atlanta. I know Atlanta has some of the same problems with housing, all that. A lot of people don't realize, especially in New York State, the city of Buffalo is very dependent
yeah.
on the state of New York.
Yep.
And what is really wild to me is that more people in the city who are vocal pay so much more attention to the city budget but
Mm-hmm.
really pay very, or at least are not vocal
Right.
about the biggest part of our budgets, what some of the biggest parts, which for our Board of Education and for the city of Buffalo, come from the state.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you this I saw, and maybe it's just my algorithms, I saw very, if no discussion about the state budget.
Barely any. I
It
haven't.
was all
I haven't
about
seen any.
the city.
Mm-hmm.
See, so I'm just trying to make it plain. At the end of the day, the April Baskins, the Jeremy Zellners, the Crystal People Stokes, the Revere, they need support for what they were for too.
I think we break it up a little bit, but I think as you were saying, is they need the support from their constituents here in Western New York too, so they can go fight in Albany because it is an uphill journey carrying Western New York when the majority of the population in this state. Hold on, sir. Let me bring you back in because you were breaking up. The majority of the population is in New York City. So they need the population over on this end to help be their army when they go to Albany and fight for us.
Exactly. And so I waited for somebody to talk about the state budget, which what the state has given the city did increase even.
Mm-hmm.
So big ups to our state legislators, who, by the way, when their budget is delayed, is different than the federal. They don't get paid
Right.
when their budget is delayed. So their families had to go without. And I think that's the right thing to do. If you're going to delay the budget and everybody else has to wait, then I think that elected officials should wait. The city doesn't have that same option
Right.
that I know of in charter to delay its budget. So it had to just go forward with its budget
Right.
where it was, and a lot of people don't realize that, where the state, they can delay and delay. Now they session ends next week. So they can delay, but we can't on the city level. So decisions had to be made.
Right.
And that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, so the like you even know in the process of it, the only thing the city can do, the council still had to do an action by May 26th. After May 26th, the only thing is the mayor can sign or veto. If he vetoes, it goes back to the council for more discussion. But either way, the budget has to be finalized by June 8th, or the mayor's proposed original budget goes into effect.
And that's the facts that people do not realize. So we do not have on the city level the same ability to stall that budget for months and keep working. So that's why the city, oh my gosh, that's why the city budget is very, very different than the state. Now, let me talk about the state a little bit. We'll close the city part out.
Yep.
And let's talk about the state budget. And the state budget did include, I believe, increases to education.
Yep.
But here's the point, and you just said it, and I had it in my mental notes. We don't run anything on the state for real in Western New York.
Mm-mm.
That's New York City.
Yep.
And the New York City attitude is real, and they have the numbers. That's just the real
They have
deal.
the numbers.
That's whether people like it or not. It's politics,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the way it runs. You got the numbers, you got the power. And so the importance of having people in power like Crystal Peoples-Stokes, who is now retiring as the majority leader, the importance of having the deputy speaker, Arthur O'Eve, when he was alive, and having that influence
Yep.
In those rooms when you are already underrepresented.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at the end of the day, and if you don't have some power in these halls of power, then it's kind of, your requests are dead on arrival.
Yep.
Trust me. The reason, you can say whatever you want to about Kathy Hochul, the reason Buffalo got another, I don't know,
25.
10 million, 25 million,
Yep.
was because you had the governor who's from Western New York. You had the majority leader who's from Western New York. You've got one of the senators represents a portion of the poor part of Western New York. They had the power to go in but you got a deal.
Yep.
So where people talk about, you know, politics being dirty, it's not that politics are dirty. There are some people who are dirty, but you have to negotiate. It's not an endless pot of money.
Mm-mm.
And so at the end of the day, you have to negotiate in order to get anything done. And that does mean giving up some things. That doesn't mean you're selling out. That means it's the art of compromise.
Yep.
And if you only have a specific amount of money, there is no way that everybody gets everything.
Mm-mm.
And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's a tough job. But go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, they always say when nobody's happy, that's how you know it's a good budget, a good bill, because at a compromising, at that negotiating table, when nobody's happy, then it's probably the best thing for everybody.
Yeah, and I want to. I mean, and you know, I'm transparent. I did have a request to interview the controller. I know that's. I believe she's going back to court.
Yes.
I want to have a balanced discussion about that. So I would really like to invite the controller on. Those of you in Atlanta might not know. Well, probably wouldn't, but basically the controller in the city of Buffalo is the one who watches the purse strings. And there is a court battle that has been going on in Buffalo because the controller, basically, the mayor proposed a capital budget, which is for buildings, roads, repairs, stuff like that, capital needs of the city. The controller felt that basically that it was an excess, and it was of what she said that they should go to, and there's a court battle. And so there are some needs being met, but I believe, and I don't know this officially, that she is appealing the last ruling of the court.
Yep. She's now going to the highest level court. Yep.
So I do want to bring her on so that people will hear her side. She has been on before, but I also want a balanced conversation so that there is a representative of the council and a representative of the administration so that we are hearing all sides of this issue. And because we were not able to do that in the state budget. I want to make sure that when these issues come up, that we have a chance. I'm going to double back a little bit because I did miss something about the state budget. And then I think I'm getting off at this exit and I can text a few people and tell them I'm on the air. But the state budget, one of the things, the criticisms of the state budget, now, this is being talked about in Georgia, in New York, and that is about environmental laws.
Yeah.
So basically, there are some of us, and I will say it, that believe in global warming, that believe our planet is suffering. And you can see it all over. I mean, come on. You don't have to be a scientist, literally,
Yep.
to know that we have ruined this planet or are ruining it. So there were proposals that go all the way back to Andrew Cuomo, that should have started with things like this, like all new buildings built with certain amount of people, especially if they get government funding, we're going to have to go to electric energy, electric heating. Well, I'm going to lay it down like it needs to be laid down. At the end of the day, I know that there are some environmentalists who are disappointed that in this budget, the governor pushed it back some years. I don't know the amount of years. I know it's just not going to happen right away.
It's 20. The 2050 goal is still in place. They moved the 2030 goal. I think they moved the 2030 goal to 2040 and decreased it percentage to, I think, 60 from 75 or something like that.
Now, here's the deal, folks. Remember, the federal government, the White House, was a part of this way of thinking.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, to make this work, you're going to need some federal money. And so if we know that currently, and we got to just educate our people, if currently the current administration of the White House basically does not believe in global warming, and they are backtracking and basically saying, we're not providing a dime for this.
Right.
If this is what you all want, too bad. Y'all take care of it on the state level. Now, here's how the dominoes fall. If the federal government backs out of it and the federal government says, we're not going to participate, we're not going to support, we're not going to help, we're not going to make federal laws, then it's all on the state. The same state that in this budget is passing basically a child care act, is passing a act so that our younger students will be able to go to pre-K, universal pre-K, I believe.
Yep.
So we're back to universal pre-K. And if we need anything, we need that in our town, in our state, because our children are suffering. My grandson's graduation here and Jamie's graduation, both of them, Jamie's graduation in Atlanta had over 600 graduates. The graduates of my grandson graduating class, 600 graduates, with at least 100 getting high honors. So I don't know the percentage of those who graduate here, but I can tell you that at the end of the day, some will say the education system is worse here. I don't know that to be true. But at the end of the day, our children suffered like every other, all other school districts with COVID. They are behind. You only have so much money.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I believe if we did not pay attention to things like education, that then people would be saying, we'd be worried about our children. You're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't. And so, yes, there was a delay. There's going to be a delay, but not a denial.
Right.
From what I know, and in my talks with the governor's office, because when I supported moving it back a little, just moving it back, I didn't say how far. I supported the proposal when I found out basically there was going to be no extra money coming in from the federal government to help with this. But I have been clear that we should not abandon it. It's still necessary. And how we get there, maybe it will be after this administration maybe after there's a new administration, because there will be a new administration in the next 3 years. The president cannot run again,
Right.
allegedly.
Mhm.
Allegedly. But so we, again, it's only so much money to go around. And what was proposed years ago may not be funded now. So what do we want? Do we want affordable housing or workforce housing? Because whenever you use that word, somebody goes, well, it's not that affordable. There's a difference
There
between
definitely is.
affordable and workplace housing. So at the end of the day, you got to pick your battles because money is limited.
Absolutely.
Let me go into this only.
And
Go
I
ahead,
was
go
getting
ahead,
ready
Mark.
to
Go ahead.
say on it, and her focus with this budget was affordability, because there's also a payout for utility bills, and the car insurance thing, which we talked about and she talked about on the show, which is I think going to be huge in saving the average New Yorker a ton of money on their car insurance. So that was her focus in affordability and education. On another show, and I'm gonna make a note because I want to ask a question, especially because you were on the school board, about our school district. But I'll let you go into where you were getting ready to go.
No, go ahead. What was it? Let's go. Let's go.
Do you think our school district is too spread out? And I mean this from the standpoint, so where I grew up in Delaware, there was more than one school district for our area. So the group of students funneled to just a handful of schools. And so for every grade, you only had about 3 schools in that district. So you can be more focused, be more concentrated. Do you think we're just so spread out with the same pot of money and we kind of lose focus on the details?
I personally don't. I mean, when you're in a place like Houston, where I'm at right now, or when I'm in Atlanta, it's so much bigger. I don't know about Delaware. Buffalo, for real, is a smaller area when you
Mm-hmm.
look at the numbers that we have. And I think when you start creating more layers of government, it becomes even more expensive because every layer of government has to have support.
Right.
So you can't have, let's say, 2 school districts and then not support them.
Right.
And they've got to have staff, they've got to have funding. And now it's a fight. It's the same thing like charter school.
Mm-hmm.
So although I support charter school, I do not support the way charter schools are funded, because it's coming out of the same pot.
Right.
But I do support there being the opportunity. And charter schools right now are up and down. Some of them make it, some of them don't. I've
Right.
always questioned why certain ones don't make it, although there are others that have just as bad scores.
Yep.
But I think that stretching that out I just think it's another layer of government. And I think you got to get the layer that you got right, so that we don't have another layer of government.
Got you.
That's my thought. What's your thought? You think there should be?
So, like I said, in Delaware, I've seen it work. So, like in Wilmington, which is my hometown, it is about the same size of Buffalo, and I think there's two school districts that basically encompass the city of Wilmington: the Brandywine School District, which is more on the northern half, and then the Red Clay School District, which kind of has the other half of the city. And then, of course, all of the suburbs kind of have theirs: Christiana School District and a bunch of others. And like I said, in our school district, there was 3 elementary schools that did K-3. There was 3 what we call the middle schools that did 4, 5, and 6. You had 3 middle schools and 3 high schools. So you ended up basically in a funnel by where you lived, but you could choice to either one. But I feel like you had more of a handle on being focused in what each school prided themselves on, which each school focused on. But the district controlled, like as you said, the teachers and the substitutes, even their own busing. So it was like, and I guess that's the question: are we just too big that we can't fix itself?
So this is my fear, especially for Buffalo. And let me say this: school districts all over the country are shrinking.
Yeah.
Atlanta right now, and Buffalo is, I know everybody going to kick and scream like they did the last time when they talked about school closures. And, I think that one wasn't handled the best that it could have been.
Right.
And so I do commend the Board of Education for being transparent and saying, okay, let's back up. But
Right.
there's going to be some schools closing.
Right.
And there's going to be schools closing in Atlanta. They're
Yep.
already looking at which schools are going to close in Atlanta. So the Board of Education, which I commend anybody serving on
Hmm.
the Board of Education, because in Buffalo, you get a stipend. You do not get paid.
Right.
Trust me. You get a stipend. you get gas money. Okay. At the end of the day, you get gas money. And it really is a full-time job. So I'm in this I was about to say Atlanta traffic. I'm in this Houston traffic. It does not
I was going to
I
say you
gotta
might
get
finish the
over.
show before you get to the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think that especially as divided as Buffalo is sometimes, that if you had different school districts or whatever it is within one, there's going to be a cry of racism. There's going to be a cry of, oh, they're giving them more than we get over here.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, that's kind of how we got to the magnet school system and all of these other systems, because those who were elected in the past felt like, one side of town was getting more resources than the other side of town, and this school was being ignored. So I think one in the same is just working on that one in the same.
Right.
Speaking of which, I just keep going from one thing to the other.
Hey, that's what
Um,
we do.
yeah, because I can't text, so I'm just going to drive for a minute. There is a big controversy, and I guess it was voted on in the county of Erie
Oh,
about,
yeah.
so Atlanta, we have a new stadium, Buffalo Bills Stadium, being almost finished, and the county used to own the stadium.
Hmm.
And well, yeah, and of the county. So the county had a luxury box.
Yep.
According to what I'm reading, when this stadium is done, it's being turned over to the state of New York, not the county.
Yep.
But the county did a big investment in this stadium, and they have a luxury box.
Hmm.
And so there was a vote because the Republican side of the county legislature was pushing a bill that basically said elected officials could not be in the box, nor could they even stop through the box.
Yep.
The Dems voted against it, and it's majority Dems. So it went along party lines, and Dems said, no, we want to be able to stop in and, say hi to our constituents. And so it has been voted down, but it is a big issue
Yeah.
about this luxury box.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm really surprised it became such of a big fight. Because I just think you just clean up the rules, you make it ethical, because it was like there's if the Bills don't make the playoff, there's only 8 home playoff games. So every county legislator can't even get a game in the luxury box for their not for profit of choice or whoever. So I think but I get the concern ethically.
okay, yeah. Now, what I read, and whether I'm right or wrong, again, I'm not there, but I keep up on my news,
Hmm.
is that the county executive's office, this thing tells me I gotta. Well, I'm talking, and yeah, um, the county executive's office will be the one to make the decision about who uses the box. I would not want
No, I
that
don't want that power.
decision. But that's what I'm being told. So the county executive's office will make that decision. But as of now, the legislators can go in the box. To, well, they voted against they didn't even like amend it and say, well, we won't sit in for the whole game. So I don't, I'm not there to, I don't know. I think you got to be careful with that.
I do too.
I think that as long as the constituents, the people who are paying for the box are the ones, I do want to see, especially children who would not normally be able to see a game, and for them to be in a luxury box, I'm not against, to be very honest. And I think exposing children to something new for them to aspire to is not a bad part.
So
I think that if
I just
go ahead.
looked it up. So it says
Uh-huh.
under the amended policy, the suite cannot be used for political purposes or events, meaning county officials cannot attend regular season or postseason games for free. And I think that was the big one. They had to pay the ticket price of the suite if they wanted to be in the suite.
Now, I'm not against that. Was that what was decided?
Yes. The policy also establishes a lottery system that will distribute game tickets to charitable organizations that apply for access. In an effort to increase transparency, the policy requires the name of all former suite guests to be provided to the legislature within 30 days. The policy does not include a complete ban on county or state officials from entering the suite. That was
Yeah,
the
I
amendments.
mean, them entering the suite, I don't really have a big problem. At the end of the day, if my county legislator fought for the Boys and Girls Club to go, they can't, I mean, them sticking their head in to say hi.
Yeah,
Now, I
taking a
like the
photo op and
portion,
all that.
yeah. I mean, regardless of whether they do it there or they do it at the Boys and Girls Club, it's the same kind of thing.
I
I
think so.
like the portion of the policy that basically says if you want to go and you do want to sit in there, you got to pay for it.
Yep.
Okay. I think, again, good government, as Councilmember Franzagen, who I have tremendous respect for and who taught me a tremendous amount when I was on the council, when he said, if everybody's a little unhappy, it's probably good at legislation.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, hey, let some kids not just have to drive past that stadium.
Yep.
Don't do the same organization over and over. And especially pay attention to those organizations that are contributing to to help raise our children, and to those organizations who are concerned about violence and really doing the work. Because I know that there is tremendous attention right now, and I'm just talking. I'm going to pull it over in a minute. Um, on the monies that have been distributed after the Tops incident. I'm talking so much, I'm getting dizzy in this heat. Um, and I am. I ain't even gonna front. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting dizzy. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm following these directions. Let me say this on the side note, because I get a little. I done seen more taco places than I ever seen in my life here in Houston.
Welcome
But
to Texas.
here's the funny part. Now, I used to live in Texas. I was young though, so I don't remember this. The taco places that are the best
Yeah,
are not in the restaurants.
I
It's
believe
the
it.
food trucks
I believe
and the
it
trailers.
because those are
I mean, they got like 20 seats outside.
now, sir. Don't go mentioning names because the 3-letter ICE is they gonna be rolling. Because that's close to the border. So the ones in the food truck, they just they just came. They knew it.
Man, you can have all kinds of Mexican here in Houston. Let me see. I think I hope I don't see this place.
Oh
Mark, I
boy.
done drove to the wrong place.
Oh boy.
Lord have mercy. I don't see the restaurant.
Jeez. Well, while you're doing
Okay.
that, and speaking of money, what are your thoughts on this new Trump's $250 bill? The first money that has a sitting alive president on it, and almost
Horrible,
200.
horrible, horrible. There is no way that a sitting president should be a. This is what's messing me up. Now, I've been in city government. It's a lot different.
Yep.
But in city government, I mean, and especially when Comptroller Williams came in, you can't have your
Put a
name
name on anything.
on anything. Now, I used to argue this, and I'm transparent, because there were times that they would say, oh, you can't have your picture on a flyer for something that is being paid for by tax dollars.
Yep.
And my argument was always, and I'll say it at 61, is that the mayor had his name on garbage can, not garbage cans,
Everything.
literally, but some
It
of them,
was. They
and
were.
different things. And at the end of the day, I get it, but let's be fair about it. Was all I said.
Yep.
If you're gonna say so, here it is on the city level, and this is what I mean. Some of these jobs, people pay attention to the lowest rung of government.
Yep.
We putting our picture on a flyer. I had a flyer when I would walk the neighborhood. And if I knocked on the door, they weren't there, I would hang it on their door. Hey, I was in the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
just to let you know, wanted to hear your concerns, blah, blah, blah. And it was oh, you can't have it. But then I'm looking at commercial billboards, Channel 19, which basically nobody was on.
Yep.
And I fought to get council members on that channel. But then on I don't know where I'm at. There, then on all I know is I'm downtown, but I don't know where I'm supposed to meet my kids. On a federal level, you have the governor, the president saying, I'm going to put my picture on a new bill that I'm going to create.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
good. We don't even have pennies anymore, but now we're gonna create a $250 bill. I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah, it's all of that and more. Hey, we're gonna pay the bills. I'm gonna figure out where my kids are, and then I'll be right back. Let's pay the bills.
When it comes to something as personal as your clothes, you need to deal with somebody you can trust. That's why so many people turn to Hobson's Dry Cleaning, conveniently located in the heart of the community at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming.
When you take your clothes to Hobson's, you can trust that they'll be ready on time.
You can trust that your whites will be white.
You can trust that you'll always get a fair price and service with a smile.
You can even trust that you won't have to get out of your car if you don't want to. Hobson's has a drive-through window for your convenience.
Trust is what it's all about at Hobson's Dry Cleaning.
Hobson's Dry Cleaning, your one-stop dry cleaners serving the community for over 30 years at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming. Call 891-8298. That's 891-8298.
Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home has 3 locations to serve you in Buffalo. 347 Peckham, 2258 Bailey Avenue, and Providence Memorial Chapel at 1275 Sycamore. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes offers traditional services, and they have services for all faiths. And at Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes, they have air-conditioned parlors and chapels. Financing is available, as is limousine service. At those difficult moments in your life, Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes is available where you are with counseling services. Call toll-free 877-885-7734. That's 877-885-7734. Or locally 845-5545. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes. We are here to serve you, here to serve this present age. Call today, toll-free 877-885-7734. Or email info@brianklewisfuneralhome.com.
All right.
We're back up.
All right. So, I don't know. My kids just told me the address. That's where I'm at, but I do not see the name of this restaurant. Something about a yoke. And I don't see his yoke is easy. I don't see his yoke, whatever this
look for the egg
is supposed to be. Look for the egg. I don't see it. So those of you from Houston, I'm supposed to be going to Toasted Yolk, which is a breakfast brunch place.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where these kids sit.
That sounds fancy.
So anyway, and it's supposed to be the bomb. I will do a review.
I was getting ready to say, while you're trying to figure it out, India posted that she wanted us to mention this Smithsonian community curation event that's in Buffalo, and it's the Center for Digitization and Curation of African American History is in Buffalo. She posted the website on our stream, and it's in Buffalo. I'm trying to see how long, but go out, support. It's talking about some media, and there's a bunch of different events and things. So click the link in our on our stream and get more information about all these events.
All right. Then I heard and that's something we need to probably have somebody on this show. Because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Of this I must be in walking distance. It's a big deal to have the Smithsonian to participate in our corridor. And
Yep.
that's going to bring resources and just, preserving our history. I heard one of the things that they are doing is digitizing folks' photos
I'm
and
looking at that
that
right
kind of
now.
stuff so that, yeah, that's big because what do you do? Like, think about this. What do you do with photos that are on, um, like on your Facebook? Like,
Well, they getting rid of
are you gonna
those.
save them there? We don't have the picture books anymore. Nobody has a picture book.
Well,
So
so
how do we preserve our history and what's
yeah,
happening?
so I'm actually looking. They do not do photos. They do not digitize photos, documents, or 3D's options. So it is your old film, your videos on VHS, Betamax, High 8, Mini Div, Betacam, and audio cassettes, and reel to reel, and DAT. I've never heard of those.
Well, all that stuff broke now. All that stuff rotted out. We don't do photos, but we gonna do real to real. It's all right. It's rotted.
Oh, boy.
So good luck with that. But no, I'm
Yeah,
teasing, but I'm not teasing. Um, I'm playing, but I'm not playing.
but you have
Am
to
I
go on their
here?
website
No,
and
I don't.
schedule an appointment for that. So
Right. It's not for.
it's not open. You have to schedule an
Oh,
appointment for digitization.
I'm getting old. I don't have the patience that I used to have.
Oh, Jesus.
My GPS is telling me I'm here. I don't see it. So
It's probably
anyway,
in a building
um,
of a building.
it's in a building of a building, but it's so hot outside
You
that I
just
don't
can't go
feel like
walking.
to. First of all, I've been talking and driving, so I already got a headache. And if I go out here walking with you on this phone, I'm going down, down.
Oh, and there's more than one. I was going to try to help you from here on live on air, but there's more than one.
I'm supposed to be at this toasted yolk place, and I don't see it, or yolk toasted, or something.
No, it's Toasted Yolk
Give me
Cafe.
something. Well, I told him I'll meet him there 12, so it'll be right on time. Um, but so talking about Houston, talking about Atlanta, our young people, we still have so many young people
Yeah.
who feel like it's a badge of honor to get out of our city,
Yep.
and especially African Americans.
Yep.
It is like I'm leaving. Both of my daughters are gone. Oh my gosh, I miss them tremendously, and definitely miss the little boy, my great grandson. But I get it. I get it. And so I know we're concentrating on streets and sidewalks, but it's got to go beyond there.
Yeah.
And 43 North, that was giving
done.
away money
Yep.
for startups to come to Buffalo, is done.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say this. I ain't really mad about that.
No.
I'm not really mad about that. Because this was a program that had people outside of Buffalo, and they would give them $1 million
Mm-hmm.
to come to Buffalo and start a company. Here's my concern, because many of them left after a year.
Yep.
They had to stay in Buffalo for a year. They
Yep.
get $1 million, then you leave. And that wasn't this administration, that was former administration. And I get what they were trying to do.
Yep.
But if we don't have a way of maintaining our own young people in Buffalo, my daughter house, people down, it's people. Matter of fact, one person who was there is from Atlanta or Buffalo, but moved to Atlanta. Other ones have moved to Houston.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that the government necessarily is doing something, because that's what we want to blame the government. But I do believe that we do have to have a vision for how we are going to, because it used to be called white flight. It's called black flight now.
Yep.
How do you, because there are other people, other cultures that have made Buffalo home, and they're moving there,
Yep.
while the African American youth are moving away. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's something I think we got to really talk about.
And it's flipping, because you have one group of people that wants to make sure they could take advantage of Say Yes and free college, and you have a lot of us, like you said, that's on the first bus, train, plane, and automobile out of the city limits. So it is, and And if you keep on, like you said, the dynamics of council is going to change. The dynamics of our elected officials are going to change that represent the city limits of Buffalo, because, like you said, of that flight, and representation matters.
We got to have that talk. Listen, I'm going to get ready to let you go. Got to find the kids so I can get to the airport. I will be back home tonight to the balmy Buffalo weather. I'm really excited. I'm excited that we got sun. So
yeah, that's it.
I'm just praying that it stays. Listen, I want to dedicate this show to Riola Wiley, who passed on. She is part of the Wiley family, who, of course, we know Johnny B. Wiley Stadium is named after.
Yep.
Faithful member of the True Bethel Baptist Church. And so we dedicate this show to her, and our hearts go out to the entire Wiley family. As a matter of fact, this week we have already lined up, I think, 3 to 4 homegoings for this week alone. And so to all those bereaved families,
and good members too, and the good faithful members too. It wasn't, they not just somebody who said they were. No, you saw them every time the doors were open. Especially
Riola.
Yeah, I was told as soon as I walked into service last night, by of course a family member, and he will remain nameless, who was cracking jokes about it. But that's the family. If you know the Wiley family,
their family is very close. Their family, and they're very loving.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I didn't make it public until the family made it public.
Right.
And then shared that. Listen, I gotta go. We'll see you on the other side. I'll be home tonight. Until next week.
Power to the people. Station, we're giving you 2 minutes back.